I read that Johnny Depp is taken up acting.
The what?
Johnny Depp, he's an American actor.
Johnny Depp.
All the ladies like him.
All the ladies?
All the ladies like him.
I don't think I like the sound.
Apparently, he's landed the top role in a musical theatre remake of Raging Bull.
Oh, that wasn't the one, that's the one with the angry fighty man.
Yes, which would explain his recent behaviour in the tabloids, would it not?
Well, it possibly would. I leave that sort of business to you. This isn't the sort of thing that they carry in the Financial Times, but I trust you to give me my low-life supplement, so to speak.
I like to read the Sunday magazine.
Well, I know you enjoy to read that sort of thing, but to be honest with you, it makes me feel sick. But I'd like you to tell me about it.
Well, it's good for ordering, special edition plates and cutlery with Elvis and things like that.
Oh, like...
Not that I get Elvis ones.
No, but you can get them
I did
for
get
Christmas, and you can get Princess Diana and wolves. I saw there was one. And there was another one of Queen Victoria touching up a rat.
Yes.
That was quite
I have
nice.
that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Wife doesn't understand why I got it, but, she doesn't quite hold with the royal family.
Really, she doesn't hold anything last time.
But anyway, when I was reading this article about Johnny Depp, and I thought to myself, they don't make actors like they used to.
They don't. They do not make actors like they used to.
Like your Roger Moore. And your Sean Connery. Those were actors.
They were actors.
They didn't need to put on a costume.
They didn't need to put on a costume or act.
Or even makeup.
Oh, no makeup.
Or act, yes.
Or act.
Right.
They wouldn't.
Yes.
They wouldn't do it. They'd yes.
Walk into a room, one line, out again. There's a film.
That's it. That's all they had to do. Apparently, Sean Connery often didn't even know he was in a film. They'd say to him, "Oh, Sean, turn up, we're going to be having a meeting at this golf club." So he'd turn up and they'd have a camera hidden in a tree. Yes. And they'd simply film him. And he'd turn up and someone would go up to him and say, "Oh, Mr. Connery, the meeting's cancelled." And he'd get all cross and punch someone in the face and they would, there's the action sequence. And they'd just get all these snippets and put them together and there's a Sean Connery movie. He didn't have a clue when he was 98% of his films were being made. Not a clue, he was oblivious.
Well, you would know a lot about Sean Connery because I know that you met him here.
I did meet him here.
Yes, I remember when he came to the club off his face.
He was...
Off his face on Scottish whiskey.
He'd had so much Scottish whiskey.
He mistook you for Pussy Galore.
He did. Well, from the back, especially about 20 years ago, there may have been a similarity to Honor Blackman. Yeah, he did take a... And I had a PVC catsuit on that night, but that was because of the little Oriental man. He likes me to do that, before the treatment.
Yes, but how did your evening go with Sean Connery? I've always been curious, because the next day you had a very funny walk.
I did have a funny walk, I have to admit. Now, well, this was the unfortunate flip side of what I said before. You see, Mr. Connery was always oblivious to when he was actually in a film.
Yes.
Apart from when he had no idea that there wasn't a camera there, and then he assumed he was on a film set.
Right.
So
explain a lot.
It would, wouldn't it? So I'm there in the PVC suit with the crotch zip that goes from my pubis round to my bum, for the little man who sorts me out.
Yes.
I'm there in the suit, and then Mr. Connery comes up to me, and he's had quite a lot of Scottish whiskey by this point, or should we say whiskey?
Yeah.
It's the accent.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Wash. Yeah.
Miss Money Penny.
Miss what?
Miss Money Penny.
Miss Money.
I like this. That's probably the only accent I can do.
Or Jamaican?
No, it's Scottish, I think.
Is Sean Connery Scottish?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Ah.
Anyway, so...
I thought you would have known from your evening.
From the incident?
Yes.
Well, no, I had no idea at all. So I'm there in the PVC suit waiting to meet the little man who sorts me out, and suddenly I felt this hand, and this hand was on my lower back.
Yes.
Now then, and it guided me towards a door. And I looked round and I thought, Sean Connery. I thought to myself, I know what's going on here. He's being filmed, but he doesn't know he's being filmed, which means this is a sequence for one of his films. But it turned out he wasn't being filmed, which meant he thought he was being filmed in a sequence for one of his films, but he wasn't.
Right.
So Sean Connery starts delivering dialogue that presumably only exists in his head, and I did used to tread the boat. I'm what we call improvising back at him.
Yes.
Making these responses up. And Sean Connery walked me out onto the street, and then he said a line, which as I recall went something like, "I know what you're up to." Well, I said to him, "About 7.5 inches on a good night, Sean." And he didn't like that. He didn't think that was the response. So he just shook his head, turned round, and he looked at a lamppost, and he said, "We'll go again on that take." I don't know what he was talking about. He thought he was in a film because of a lamppost. So, and then he said the same words to me, and I said, "You don't know what I'm up to," and he saw red. He saw red, and all of a sudden, he started attacking me. He thought it was some sort of an action sequence, and he punched me in the face and pushed me into the road, and I was hit by a taxi. And at that point, he came over to me, shook me by the hand, and said, "You're one of the finest stuntmen I've ever worked with." And I said, "Sean, that's a pleasure, but I can't feel my fucking legs." And he went, "Ha ha ha," like that, and he walked off.
Well, that's the Scottish for you.
That's the Scottish and Sean Connery and Scottish actors who are called Sean Connery who don't know when they're in a film or if they are or not.
Well, I have to say, Roger Moore was completely different. He treated me like a lady.
Did he?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I always preferred his Bond.